That's so weird. Okay. I hope everybody else can hear me. But anyways, that was all my intro music.
Hi, it's nice to see you. It's been such a long time.
I know. How are you?
Good. I see you're wearing the Dirty Shakes
I
shirt.
know. I was like,
Oh man,
I wanted just for
what a long time ago. What a
you.
long time ago.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm adjusting. I think it's important to say that that we all are probably in a transition of like, adjusting to this new reality. So it's a little bit tough.
Well, I mean, it's like a different world for us because we don't have like, the luxury of 9 to 5, working at home type of situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. But there's always unemployment, so that's very important um, for aspiring actors, to get on. It's not. I feel like there was some kind of like social stigma against it, but I mean, now it's kind of very necessary. So,
Yeah.
what's also necessary for me is tuning out all this media madness. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of like media overload.
Yeah, apparently there's gonna be like a military enforcement soon.
Oh God, I would hope not.
I know.
That's
I'm
awful.
I'm like really I don't know. This just happened within like the last 2 minutes before coming on. Everyone's like,
Uh.
"You need to go home," and I'm like, "I don't know, fine."
I know.
Right now.
Yeah, it sucks. This social distancing. I don't like calling it social distancing. When I heard that term, I was like, no, oh God, no, this is
Yeah,
horrible. This is a horrible coined term. Whoever coined this term, shame on you. It's not.
yeah,
It shouldn't be social distancing. It should be physical distancing. That should be the hashtag of
yeah.
du jour, right?
Yeah, let
It's
me
not.
introduce you to the people here real quick.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, please. Hey
All right.
Cassie, what's up? Cassie, right on. Who else is
Yeah,
here?
I wanted to do like a whole intro thing, and then the whole like can't hear
Did
me.
someone call me Bradley Cooper? I'll take that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I saw that too.
I'll
For
take
all,
that.
for all of you guys who don't know, this is Maku. He is an actor,
Hello.
musician,
That's
extraordinary,
right.
co-founder.
Extraordinary.
How would you describe your experience as an actor in LA and why
So
you're an actor?
yeah, so I started off actually as a musician. I went to college. I went to college for music, and after college, I joined this band called the Dirty Shakes, and both my bandmates were actors. And so coming from Queens, I didn't really know too much about the acting scene
You're from
out here. Yeah, Queens, baby, Queens, New York. Actually, that got me a gig yesterday, being from
really
Queens. Yeah,
congratulations.
because thank you. It was a gig I found on Backstage. It was for like a songwriting position for a preschool YouTube animated kids show, and I saw that the company was in New York, and I'm like, hey, I grew up in Forest Hills, and the guy was like, get the hell out of here. I went to Forest Hills High School, so.
No way.
Yeah,
It
so
was good when you
yeah, so
fly like into someone from back home.
yeah, I know. So I think it's always important to say where you're from. That's just the best icebreaker when you talk to someone who's potentially wanting to hire you. The best
Yeah.
icebreaker. Um, yeah. So tuning out this media madness. There's just been so many like ups and downs for me. I'm trying to stay sane through all of this. I'm trying to keep working.
Mhm.
Um, even filing for unemployment, that's not going to stop me from like finding work, and it's out there.
Is there even an influx of like auditions? I know that as people who don't know out there, you can do like self-tape auditions as
Right.
from home, but I mean with this going on, I feel like that would be more of a necessary.
Absolutely. It all depends. Actually, there's a boatload. There's actually like too much content
Really?
online right now for me to sift through. Yeah, because all these casting directors are holding like online sessions, and my friend Joe, who I spoke to today, she told me that ASG Casting is accepting like commercial self tapes, just like self taping, just whatever commercial things for, I don't know, etc. So like, if you want to look, it's out there. The work is out there. I
For
think.
those who know, Monku was in a Raising Cane's
Oh,
commercial.
that's right. Yes, I was in a Raising Cane's commercial. That self tape, that was the fastest self tape I ever
Yeah.
sent. Once the guy saw me on backstage, he's like, "Hey, I'm casting for a Raising Cane's ad." In
Yeah.
20, like I think in 10 minutes, I got him that self tape. Um, that's just
Nice.
how it goes. If you want something really badly, you do it just right there and then. You drop everything. And luckily for me, I had nothing due that day, so
Yeah.
I just dropped everything. And in the slate, I said, "Hi, this is Mike Larissa auditioning for." I didn't want to say mother fucking Raising Canes, but I said mother flipping Raising Canes. What? And then I just cut to me doing the audition, and they loved it. And I asked them when I got on set, when they booked me and I got on set, I asked them, "Hey, so why did you go with me? Because I want to know." And they're like, "Well, to be honest, like we were looking at a few different people, but you just responded immediately and you were like right there, so we just
Sometimes
thought."
that's all
Absolutely,
it's being,
absolutely,
being
yeah,
punctual in this industry gets you very far.
absolutely. I agree. I agree. I've not been a big fan of this whole guilt shaming people into watching your content online. I see a lot of that on Facebook groups. Just because we have a
Yeah.
lot of time doesn't mean that
Yeah.
everyone's like on the same page and
Right.
they're like mentally on the same page, like, "Oh, I have a lot of free time. I can watch whatever I want." Like some people are freaking out. And I think that's perfectly fine. Like, right?
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Everyone's freaking out how to like pay rent today. You know, everyone's
Right.
freaking out about like, can we go to the grocery store? Like, is there even gonna be food there? You know, like these are all basic necessities that we never thought would be our basic necessities.
I know. Well, I saw Zach actually 2 weeks ago. We did, yeah, we did a TikTok video together, and I thought in my head, "Oh, the next time I'll see him was like, the week after next, and it'll be all
Yeah.
good." And then this whole thing happened, and then I couldn't see him anymore. So yeah, it's funny what we take for granted, in this life. So
It's a good way to get creative, though. I think, especially if
yes,
you have friends that are like not. Obviously, you don't live with everyone, which would be like the ideal utopia if all of our friends live next door, right? This isn't Friends, but
right.
like TikTok is a good thing too, where I've seen celebrities
It's
do their own thing.
it's a good thing. TikTok is very cool. Where do you go after that is my main question. Like, I like using TikTok as like a kind of brand recognition. So if a casting director or producer was on there and they saw me, that'd be cool. But like, what is the end goal of TikTok? I mean, now we're asking like, what's the end goal of society? Really, like, where do you go after TikTok? Like, I would focus, like you said, on creating content.
Yeah,
If you want to star in films and TV, you make stuff like films and TV, not TikTok
right.
videos. But at the same time, it's also very important for your brand to do stuff like
True.
that. So
Well, this brings me to my other point. You're a co-founder of Five Productions.
yeah, 5D, that's right.
Yeah, explain to us a little bit about what that is and what you do for them.
So I started that. We actually started that last October, and we had a few sketches banked, and we were going to start in January. And I had this ambitious idea of just doing 2 sketches a week.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it'd be like that much work because I thought, oh, we'd find an editor, blah, blah, blah. But we didn't find an editor, so I had to become an editor. I had to,
Hard to find.
download Final Cut Pro and all this stuff, and etc. And it's a lot of work. 2 videos a week is a lot of freaking work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I actually produced a documentary last year, and it was so hard to like find an editor that would be able to, artistic direction that I wanted to go, and the director's
Uh-huh.
artistic direction that he wanted to go, it wasn't like cohesive enough for this editor. And that's a lot of things that like that's one thing that like people don't understand is like it's different than like just going on like iMovie when you're doing something like even a sketch.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, I started an iMovie and I was like, no, to make a nice, complex sketch look simple, you need definitely some kind of software like Final Cut or Adobe Premiere.
Yeah.
So, going back to creating content, I think it's
Yeah.
important to create content now if you can, if you're in that mindset, but also with others. Like, don't just shoot a monologue in your house. Find a creative way to remotely film with your friends. It can happen. We did it last week, and our sketch Friday was very well received, and I literally pulled that off in one night of editing the night before.
Wow.
Because we just, we said we're going to do 2 a week for a year. So we had to do it. We have a deadline. I like deadlines. Deadlines make the art. I really like deadlines. Whenever somebody says, oh, just get it to me whenever you can, I'm like, no, give me a date. Because if you don't give me a date, it's never going to get done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but.
Is Instagram that sketch?
It's on Instagram. Yeah, that's right. It is. It's like what happens when like 3 actors have to film remotely together with no direction. So that was our kind of what?
That's the thing with this with film and everything. You can just edit anything to look like you're all next to each other.
That's right. And even though we didn't agree on the eye line, when I got in the editing room, it just all looked good. So it was kind of like a happy accident. I live for happy accidents. That's what's nice. But going back to what I'm saying about creating content, I think it's really important to create content with others, not alone. No one wants to see you in a monologue. The reason why we watch stuff is like for connection, right? So even in these physically distanced times, we should still be connecting with each other socially. And I had a friend, Darren, I almost worked with on a set. We weren't in the same scene, but he was a really cool guy. He's a mocap kind of guy, motion capture, and he did something. He recreated a scene from Lord of the Rings with all of his friends, like 12 friends, and they were all in different places. Like one guy was in the snow, but I think now no one cares about your setting. Everyone just cares about the human connection part. So just do it, just do it. Work with each other and just do it.
Yeah, especially now that we're all cooped up. It's like, so I want to do this because I wanted to like reconnect with people who, do the same thing that I do. And I just wanted to check in with everyone to see if
yeah.
As creatives, we get really suffocated with limits,
Yeah, but limits also define the art too. And that's what I've started to begin to understand. Yeah, right? Because like what I was saying about the deadlines before, it's like limits really define the art. If we had no limits or no deadline, the possibilities are endless, and that's like so that's like, to me, this this whole quarantine has been a curse, but also a semi-blessing, because it's allowing me to focus on what I need to focus on or what I think is important. Like, okay, so I can't go out to auditions now in person, so what am I going to do about that? I'm going to focus on my brand. I'm going to take time to develop my skills. I actually got signed yesterday. It was from a mailer. Thank you. They're Rage Talent, and I mailed them a postcard the other day with a sticker of my face, and I wrote on a Post-it note on the postcard, "This guy really sticks out from the crowd," and they just love that so much. And they were calling me the postcard guy in the office, and what's so nice is that they were still up to meet with me online on a Zoom audition. And when they want to meet with you, then they want you. So now's a great time. Now's a great time to get signed. All the agents are doing nothing. Zoom is a great new app. I mean, I think it's been around for a while, but now because of all the things that are happening, it's like a conference call app. It's like Skype, but a little bit less a little less formal than Skype.
Got it.
But I mean, Zoom is what they're using in schools and at businesses right now. Actually,
Yeah.
Skype is the more informal one, but I just like the whole idea of Zoom. It's very, you can just send an email to somebody and they just sign on to your session, and it's that easy. Um,
Yeah.
hey, Zach actually had a Zoom callback with the director and the casting director and the writer. That's right, Zach, baby. Yeah, he had that recently. And I think that's maybe where the future is going. It's because self-tapes were already picking up. And now that people are finding that Zoom auditions can be done. I mean, if you're a director, if you're really, if you're a director from Michigan who has a lot of investors in your movie and you're ready to audition actors from LA, you can just get on Zoom instead of having to go to LA and see them. So that might be the next step. I mean, this quarantine might have ignited some new things, new trends in the industry that we will notice in a few months. So
Yeah. As Americans, I think we're pretty resilient when it comes to that too. Like, we'll just come up with a new app. So, like, if you're going to take something away from it,
right,
something else.
absolutely, yes, yes. Yeah, going back to what I was saying, the developing skills, that's what I talked to the agent about. Now is the perfect time to develop some skills. I got SAG eligible because of guitar. We have thank you. We have 2-3 months to get good at something. And, to get all of our admin stuff down, let's perfect our resumes. Let's perfect our reels. Because when the industry ramps up, it is going to be a volcano,
Yeah.
of auditions. And
Yeah.
and that's why I think it's so important to get an agent right now, even if you're non-union. I mean, I'm technically non-union. I'm SAG-E, but I'm still non-union. But it's important to get an agent because when this is all over, they are going to submit the hell out of you to all these things from big studios that are backed up right now and are just going to release. I mean, it's going to be a big boom.
SAG put out a thing on Instagram the other day that was like, they're going to try to extend the deadlines for due dates.
Uh-huh.
Because COVID thing, and I was like, that's really good because I mean, no one's working right now.
Right. Right.
Everyone,
I know.
But, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, you mentioned SAG people, they're not working because all the productions are shut down. I wish they would give a kind of a forgiveness thing to people who wanted to work non-union right now, doing testimonials and stuff. I mean, because the work is still out there. I filed for unemployment, but I'm gonna get paid this week from a gig. So people are still working. They're figuring out ways to work remotely. So
I actually have an actor friend. He said that the second you step out of a production, you're pretty much unemployed. So you can kind of weave in unemployment with
And I would recommend doing that rather than, I mean, serving people, but unemployment benefits only last for so long. So
that's true.
But
right.
yes, we do. And we're gonna get some help until the end of July, which is really nice. That's really nice. So there is opportunity right now. There are a few options you can take. You can either be depressed and sad. I was depressed and sad for a little bit last week. Don't get me wrong. I did my own sulking. Or you can adapt and overcome and just figure out, okay, if I want to be an actor, how can I get around this? Do you have a good microphone? Are you ready for a voiceover reel? Because why not? I don't know. If you're not, that's great. That's so much easier than on camera acting. Are you kidding me? Reading off a script with no one looking at you. That's awesome.
Go to work in your PJs. That's the big.
Yeah, you go to work in PJs. Exactly. I did a podcast back in February, and I dressed so schlummy, and it was so enjoyable.
No one knows. If your voice
no one knows,
then you're pretty.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So, backstage is pretty good right now.
Yeah.
in terms of finding gigs. There's a lot of voiceover. They launched a new voiceover beta program where they have like a voiceover profile now.
Yeah.
I think because of what's going on. So I'm telling you, if you're an actor, you got to invest right now in a good freaking microphone.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to shoot on your phone. It's, I mean,
I'm doing
I
on the
what?
phone.
There you go, on the phone.
Yeah.
It's that easy. I mean, like, if you have an iPhone, anything above an 8, your content is going to look good. It's
Yeah.
only 1080p, so it's going to look good. Don't be afraid. The only thing holding you back is like that little person in your head telling you, "Oh, you're not good enough," or I don't know, whatever. Or, "Oh, this isn't worth it." It is worth it because sometimes casting directors are everywhere. I met a
There-
girl from what? What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
I said they're people too.
They're
They go
people
on
too. They want to be entertained.
social media.
Yeah, exactly. Like I met before this whole thing struck, I had an audition. I had a read for Daniel Hoff Agency, and I'm like, oh my god, that's a big one.
Yeah.
And I got that because I'm friends with one of my coworkers at the Formosa Cafe, which I got laid off from, but whatever. I'm done with that place.
Aw.
I loved everyone there, though. Don't get me wrong. Um, I met her. I added her on Instagram, and I just post silly comments on her page. And her agent saw me and saw music in my screen name and decided to go to my page. And my first thing was my commercial reel that I just posted saying looking for SAG representation. And she's
Nice.
like, "Hey, I want to invite you to a cold read," but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it's there if you just. Oh, I'm such a big fan of social media. I'm such a big fan. Like, I love social media. I hate that like it makes you depressed and stuff when you looked at your
Well, that's just
friends.
it, I think.
Uh-huh.
But you know, it's what how you take the content that you're taking in. Like you can
Right.
look at it depressed, or you can look at it and see opportunity.
Right. I look at it. I see like endless amounts of opportunity. If you're on Facebook, and Instagram, like on Facebook, there's so many groups you could be a part of, and you could share your stuff on these groups, and you can get views and you can get people interested. It's just that the opportunities are endless. Like on Facebook, my group 5D Productions, we had only 100 to 300 views a video, whatever the Facebook, etc. But
No.
then, are you there?
Yeah. Sorry, it froze for a second. Go ahead.
Oh, it's all good. So yeah, I was just saying that on Facebook you have these groups, and if you share your stuff to these groups, then all of a sudden your views get more and more, and then people start to get interested, and it's not about the views, it's about the people getting interested. It's about the people
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I want to help you guys," because that's the
Yeah.
whole point of my group 5D Productions is that we want a crew at the end of the year, and we want to shoot dramatic shorts, but
Yeah.
we need to just put our stuff everywhere and just send it out. Great time to do that. It really is. It's a great time, and there are going to be days when you can't create because of this whole thing. But it's whatever, because guess
Yeah.
what? We have like a month or two of this left. So
That's true. Well, let's wrap up here. What top 5 movies do you think we should watch right now? Or shows
top
that you're-
5 movies
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like I. You can ask my girlfriend. I don't have like favorites, but when it comes to movies right now, I'm gonna say number 1 is Good Time on my list. I love Good Time by the Safdie brothers. They made Uncut Gems. Good Time convinced me that Robert Pattinson's a great fucking actor. He's really good. He is just, man, so good at that. So that's my number 1 choice. Number 2, God, like I'd have to think about this a lot. Can I say shows? Can I list a TV
Yeah.
show?
Yeah.
Number 2, watch Narcos.
I think
Vog-
that was a good time, actually.
Watch Narcos. It's great. Wagner Moura is such a great fucking actor as Pablo Escobar. He makes me scared of him. It's so good. He's so good at that role. I love that. I also really like Sabrina. That's kind of like my guilty pleasure. Sabrina on Netflix. Oh, it's so good. I like satanic stuff.
I like the OG. I like the Sabrina OG.
You like the Sabrina OG? But
Yeah.
trust me, this TV show is really fucking bomb. And funny enough, this guy Ross Lynch was actually at one of he was at Zach's birthday party like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Sorry. And my girlfriend Rochelle pointed out to me like, hey, like he was at Zach's karaoke party at what's that 80s place? Not Davy Wayne's. The 80s place. Fuck.
Oh,
what's the name of that?
Like Break Room?
Break Room 86. Yes. So he was just hanging out with us casually in like 2016, and then like next year he just got that spot on a TV show. So it just goes to show you that like you could know, you could be a nobody, and then all of a sudden just book a huge freaking role, So that's number 3 for me. Number 4, watch Contagion.
Oh my God.
Watch Contagion. I saw that movie when it was released, and I saw it again, and I'm like, wow, these guys kind of really hit it on the nail. 8 years ago, this movie was released 8 years ago. They kind of hit it on the nail. So that was a good movie to watch. And then my 5th one, I don't know. I feel weird about all these movies being placed on demand, rather than in the theaters. Doesn't that strike you as kind of weird? It's a little bit scary.
I mean, I feel like theaters are kind of going away because of these with Disney Plus and Apple Plus and all the pluses. So.
Right, that sucks because like me and you, we're social creatures, right? Like we're actors. So like, did you realize how much socialness you needed before this?
No.
And now it hits you like week 2. Like I have friends living on their own, and my heart goes out to them because I could I can be on my own for a bit. I'm an artist. I create stuff, but like I will eventually need some human interaction to not go crazy. Like imagine if you told somebody before all this happened that, yeah, I only see like one person a week, like for a few hours. They would think you're crazy.
Right. Yeah.
But now we're all in that position. So are we all crazy? Right? Am I right or what?
Yeah, that's pretty on the nail on that one. And I didn't know, I'm pretty reclusive when it comes to like me having to get shit done, but like when you're just like chilling, you're like, okay, can I go outside? No, you can't go outside. Like the main event right now is going to a grocery store, but can we even do that anymore?
Right, it's scary. I mean, well, we went to Ralph's the other day, and there was no safe practice of anything, and then we went to Trader Joe's, and the line outside was, you had to stay 6 feet away from everybody, and it was just a really pleasant experience in the store. So, some people are handling this differently. Some people are just trying to get back to normal. But there is stuff to do. If you're an actor, there is stuff to do. You can get your voice. Sorry, what was that?
If you're any creative, I feel like you have stuff to do. Just get
exactly.
But
But you don't want to get overloaded like with the amount of things that you can do, because right now the possibilities are endless, and sometimes when it's like that, you feel like you can't create because you're just overwhelmed. It's like, well, I could make a song or a monologue or a TikTok video or a YouTube video, or I could post something on Facebook, or I could post an Instagram, and it just spirals downward. So you have to either decide, or and it's okay to take a break right now, as long as you're focusing on yourself and you're staying healthy and you're hopefully not drinking too much. That's something I have to worry about. It's hard. Everyone has their own way of dealing with things, but as long as you are consistently creating and being creative, then you're going to get out of this just fine. So
True. Well, thanks, Maku. Thanks for getting
thank you. And yes,
first guest on 50
I know, the first
Yeah.
guest. Crazy, right? I know. Crazy. I got to thank you for inviting me. This is awesome. This
Of
has been
course.
a great experience.
It's
Yes.
nice to see you.
Yes, and a
Okay.
cheers to you, and stay safe during all this, etc. So, cheers,
Yeah.
virtual
Let's
cheers.
keep this.
Yes, absolutely. So, have a good
All
one.
right. In touch. Bye. Okay, everyone. How was that? How was that? I hope everyone had a good time, learned something, heard something, and now it's time to be something. No, I'm kidding. Okay, well, I think we have somebody else tomorrow. I'm pretty much gonna have somebody consistently every day, so stay tuned. Thank you.